What is happening? Welcome back to the Past Live. Thank you all for tuning in tonight for everyone's favorite Rip of the Month. We have returned with a wax box of 1990 Tops in desperate search to find the very super mega rare Frank Thomas No Name on front, or even maybe partial blacklist cards, which I saw recently on a Facebook page that somebody pulled a partial blacklist Frank Thomas from a wax box with the sun. And that's got to be a pretty freaking awesome feeling that those are still out there in packs. Gives me hope that I may find this card yet. So we have a wax box before us, 36 packs, 36 chances to find this elusive error card that I have been chasing after for the better part of my life. And I forget where I got this box from. I feel like somebody sent it to me. Was it Criterion Racer, Brian Smith? I had a slew of these boxes sent to me the last few months, and I appreciate it, you guys, but I forget which one I've opened and which ones I have not. I have two left in the arsenal, and we're opening a wax box tonight. And please also welcome back everyone's favorite tattered and moth-eaten 89 Tops traded box that was recently recovered during the chaos that has happened over the past week. Pee Wee Herman, the chain-smoking doll, still missing. So hopefully he made his way to the Alamo. Let's rip into these packs of 90 Tops in search of the Frank Thomas rookie error card. Other rookie cards we're looking for, obviously, Sammy Sosa, Bernie Williams, Larry Walker. I feel like the Larry Walker is like kind of a tough pull. I've opened a lot of these boxes, and I've only ever pulled that card a handful of times. Of course, the Griffey Gold Cup. Jerome Walton Gold Cup probably would have been the one I was chasing after back in 1990. And let's keep an eye out for Mandela effects. As always, the very first pack, another collation. I know that's a Sammy Sosa rookie card behind Julio Franco. So maybe that will bring us some luck. Back in the late 90s, this was a pretty freaking hot card. The first rookie shows up. Sosa, the propaganda piece for the debut of Topps Magazine. Also to follow it up, Ken Williams, Jeff King. I actually had Jeff King sign that at Pirate Fest back in 1990 or 91. Alan Trammell, Kennedy, and the scraggly mullets of Rob Deere. Ends the first pack. And of course, my YouTube is still spazzing out. Can't read the chat, but I do have it on my computer next to me, so I'll be monitoring that back and forth. The most recent Frank Thomas No Name on front I saw sold less than 2 weeks ago. I think it was a BGS 8.5. It sold for $9,000. To give you a feel for how rare and valuable this card truly is. There's a Gwynn All-Star card, Ken Griffey Sr. Haven't seen that one at the flea market lately with a $100 price tag on it. Surprisingly, Fisk All-Star card, Rex Hudler, who I deemed deceased on this channel at one point. Ripken, Record Breaker, Boggs All-Star card, Propaganda Piece, and some sort of strange blemish on Bobby Bow here that I am kind of obsessed with. Might have to put that in the oddity collection. Video coming sometime in the next few years. John Smiley, Gus Polidor, Templeton's Apollo Neal from Mikey G, if he is lingering in the background, and Shane Raleigh is going to end that freaking pack. We got Tango in the house, Paul L, Scotty Arms, and everybody else. Thank you guys all for being here. Paul L, and I'm not sure if you saw it or not, but I tagged you in a post on Instagram. Instagram was the return of Robbie Blumkin today. He actually had a big pair of Jenkos on. He dove face down into a pool while wearing said Jenkos. That's pretty epic video. Kevin Ritz, and collation is as it always is. That's a Juan Gonzalez rookie card right behind there. It surely is. You can tell I've opened enough of these in my life to know what card is always going to be next. The precursor to wax for the Frank Thomas is typically always the Kurt Schilling, not a rookie card. Propaganda Piece for Glossy All-Stars. And I was going to rip these last night. I always open 90 Tops on the first of the month, but I wasn't going to compete against the All-Star game, or not the All-Star game, the World Series. So, pretty epic series overall, though. Congrats to the Rangers on the win. The Diamondbacks definitely gave them a run for their money. Davis, Nolan Ryan shows up. So it doesn't appear like we have a search box here. That's always a good thing. Randy Kutcher in that gnarly Hanover mustache. Jimmy Key, Scott Bankhead having the time of his life in that photo. There's Tat Paddler, Gary Carter, Fernando Valenzuela, and no Frank Thomas yet. John knows the entirety of the 90s Tops collation. Best things, did you get my message about giving Mark Grace? You know what? I saw it after I had already shipped it out, Robert. Literally like a couple hours later I saw it. I'm like, Wally Whitehurst always creeped me out. Mike Fetters. There's a Henderson record breaker. Bobby Fikes says, car ripping got my Taco Bell. There's nothing better. Mike Greenwell, Rick Rona. And the propaganda piece for Sports Card Collector Sheets. Always hated those cards as a kid. J Bell, the $120 Roger Craig card has shown up, paying for this box. A box of 90 Tops wax these days is about $50, roughly. May get lucky and find them at a flea market for like $25. But flea market season on the East Coast is now dead, unfortunately, and I miss it dearly. But I'm going to try to get out to some antique malls and film some overpriced and inflated commons this weekend. Jeff Ballard as Canseco, shown for the first time. Kurt Stillwell. I'm thinking I got my sights set on Maryland this weekend. Craig Biggio and Melito Perez for Jonathan H. If he is lingering in the background. Paul F. says, why search? I have 3 no-name fronts I can trade you. Paul F., I sent you an email today. I apologize on the delay of the email response, but I did send you one today. I operate by Pony Express sometimes. Ron Robinson looking dorkier than ever. Ted Power. Mark Davis all-star card. And keep in mind, on the TPIA private Facebook group, there's an ongoing tally of 90 Tops. It's pinned to the top of the page. So you can see like the most pulled cards, the least pulled cards. And it always amazes me what cards we see the least amount of. Norm Charlton, I always was convinced that him and Van Snyder are the same person. Still creeps me out. And Damon Berryhill to end that pack. I'm sending you no-name vibes from Vermont, Irishman says. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Definitely need it. Like I said, my hope was boosted upon seeing the pictures of them pulling that partial blacklist. That would be freaking amazing. Juan Gonzalez rookie shows up again for count number 2 on this box. Tom Candiotti looking rather devious as ever. Jeff Jackson rookie card, Andy Van Slyke. Mike Morgan. So I haven't really seen Mandela effects yet. Paul L., have you seen any? Not noticing any yet. Henderson, Hershiser is Felix Fermin. We used to hate Felix Fermin as kids. Neil Heaton, and a dog-eared corner of Barry Bonds to end that pack. Matthew Brown says, Craig Biggio and Sosa, 2 of my favorite 90 Tops. The second year Biggio and the Sosa rookie. Greg Vaughn, future star for Joseph C., if he is with us. Jeff Russell, Gary Reedus, a very pissed off and hostile Sparky Anderson. There's Frank Robinson short print. At least I deem it so, because I spent 2 hours one day looking for that card for someone for a team set. Long time ago, Greg Bradley Gold Cup. Joe Price and Dave Dravecki is going to end that pack. Paul L. demanding a Mike Walkden sighting. We got to decorate this for the season here very soon, but the snow globe will be coming very, very soon. Mike Walkden floating in all his glory inside of that globe. And I'm trying to piece together other different TPIA relics. And in case none of you saw earlier, I was creeping in the chat and I saw someone demand a swashbuckling emoji. Well, there is now a swashbuckling emoji. And soon to be Willie McGee and probably several others. Tommy Gregg and his chiseled physique. Hojo, Russ Nixon, Donald Harris rookie card, Propaganda Peace, Pendleton, Mark Parent, Steve Buechele. Never really cared for Steve Buechele, even in his stint with the Buccos, but that is a rather commendable, scraggly little mullet flapping in the wind on that card. Nothing too crazy in that pack. Corey is disgusted by the use of the word swashbuckle. He absolutely hates it. Leading this pack off, Alejandro Pena starts it off. The emojis are soaring now in the chat. Billy Hatcher. Jeff Ballard again, the same exact collation as we should expect. And I probably spoke too soon about the box being searched, although I don't think it was because still a Sosa rookie hiding out in there. The gum looks somewhat fresh. Used to always enjoy eating that until people started getting angry at me for chomping on rotten old gum during the rips. So I kind of took a break on that for a little bit. Kyle Abbott, record breaker of Henderson. Nolan Ryan once again. The Sweet Tops throwback, followed by Vance Law, which also has an odd blemish. I'm sure Joe B is absolutely pumped on that Vance Law sighting. Todd Benzinger, this weekend I may uncover the 5-cent Todd Benzinger at that antique mall. I forget what it is. Is it 91 per deck maybe? But they have it at a booth with a 5-cent price tag on it. Is it really worth the time it took you to write out that price tag? I don't know. Joel and Spike says, sub to you again, Ripping for Ripkins. Ripping for Ripkins is blowing up TikTok as of now. He is surging on there. Tim Drummond looking higher than ever. Tommy Helms. A bunch of these cards that have the same strange blemishes to the left edge. Dodd Zimmer. Dave Magadan. At one point, that was one of the most pulled cards for me out of all these rips. It was second year Brady Anderson, and Mike Jackson is going to end that pack. Love tasty 90s gum. Hey, you and me both, man. This is definitely a real treat. I should have given that out for trick-or-treating. I should have just given out sticks of old gum instead. Not that I had many trick-or-treats to begin with, but I think it was maybe like 20 that came through. Julio Machado. There's Wetland, Wally Backman, who would go on to play with the Buccos that year. Jeff Montgomery. We got a Puckett coming up. There's a Dan Plesac for Joseph C. And, of course, the commendable unibrow of Stan Javier. Glistening in the rays of the sun. Vaughn Hayes, of course, I would have hated that card as a kid. I still hate it now. Robin Younts and Junior Felix. Wally Moon's unibrow says, rumor is Pee Wee went hunting rich stuff with Chester Copperpot. Joseph C. is in the house. Wally Moon's unibrow. It is good to have you in here. He was really pissed off that there was no 90 Tops rip last night. But better late than never, I suppose. Pee Wee, I have no idea of his whereabouts. He is this lot. You know what? Pee Wee, he popped up. He has popped up. Face down in a box. I just looked to my right, and there he was. And he sounds worse than ever, so we're going to have to get him some medical attention here very, very soon. Try to flush out that emphysema. Drew Hall off the set of Futurama. I think I was talking to Corey earlier, and I want to say Corey referred to him as Drew Hill. Drew Hill, the R&B singer. Jay Bell, $120 Roger Craig manager card. So now we are $240 in on this box. And if you throw in the Ken Griffey Sr., make it $340 if we're talking flea market prices. But Dean's cards would have that Drew Hall listed at probably about $5, maybe more. Little Dean's cards. I missed something. Trevor Williams in the house as I ripped some 1990 rack packs. Poor collation. Trevor, what's going on, man? Good to see you in here. Yeah, actually, I have a sealed case of 90 Tops rack packs. I have not opened them. It was sent to me just as a gift from Retro Wax, which I think Retro Wax is kind of on standstill for the time being, but Jared sent me a case of those. I didn't open it because I have always heard that you can't find the Nonium on front in rack packs. There's Big Mac. The hideous antics of Zane Smith will forever curse every one of us. Tony Fernandez, Alvaro Espinoza, Eddie Whitson, who is definitely an omen here. Tim Jones looking a lot like Todd Zeal, and Alice Burks. To end that pack, Wally Moon's Ross's face down in the box. Sounds like a good time. I had a feeling somebody would take that and run with it. Leave it to Wally Moon's unibrow to do so. Johnny Bench turned back the clock. The 1970 Tops design starts it off. Fred Manrique. We still haven't seen any Civil War Mitch Williams cards yet, which is becoming kind of like a trend here. Tommy Lasorda with that blemish on the side. Rob Dibble, the bulbous jugular vein popping out. Sutcliffe, Billy Ripken, and Tim Laudner. Drew Hill, R&B singer. Pee Wee ever going for a checkup? He is not yet. We're going to schedule that soon, though, because he's getting worse by the day from what it seems like Lance Johnson, Mitch Webster, with some sort of ringworm that has overtaken all around his mouth, making me uncomfortable. Ryan Sandberg, All-Star card. Kevin Hickey, the first part of the trifecta shows up to unlock and summon the three-headed Mickey Weston, which I don't have next to me. I'm sure it probably is next to me somewhere, but in a box. I'm still in the process of maneuvering, or should I say shuffling things from room to room, which is typically how I clean up stuff. Ron Robinson, Jet Lemon, Mark Davis, Eric Hetzel, same exact collation. There's Scott Geraltz. That is post Laser Eyes. Randy Reddy, Manuel Lee, Greg Brock, and Chris James. No sign of Griffey yet, or Larry Walker, or Bernie Williams. Like usually I see like at least like 2 Bernie Williams out each box. And we got the senile and pissed off Sparky Anderson started off. 2 Frank Robinsons. Bill Long, is that a Mandela effect? I'm going to say it's kind of close. Dave Smith, the Eternal Sunglass Tan Line. Propaganda Piece, Edgar Martinez. We got Carlton Fisk coming up, along with Franklin Stubbs. I don't think I even need to say it anymore. The Franklin Stubbs reference in the one video that has been posted many times by Paul L. in the chat. Random pack openings that are glorious. Bucky Dent, Backman, Mike Pagliarulo. I don't even understand how we even try to pronounce his name as kids. I feel like we definitely really butchered that one. There's Willie McGee from Mikey G. Barry Larkin, looking kind of down on the dumps on that card. And Willie Randolph ends that pack. No Mickey Weston yet. But you got to summon him. You have to unlock him. You got to find the 3. We got another Sosa rookie card, though. 2 Sosas, 2 Juan Gonzalez. Not too shabby. Ron Hassey. There's a Puckett, Stan Javier's Unibrow, and Vaughn Hayes. Ending that pack. Tango says, fight struggle. Fight struggle SF. If only more people knew about that. Lindsey Clark says, I heard you can find the all name on front in rack packs. There's Mark Gardner starting it off. Jeff Innes rookie card. Used to be pumped on him for a little while there. What the hell is that? Is that in the background or is that part of the card? I was going to say Ken Patterson. Very strange. Another weird abnormality. Always on the left-hand side, Gene Harris and Kurt Manwaring. There was somebody that used to come in here. I forget his name. But he was really obsessed with Kurt Manwaring, and he would always say, I don't know if he would refer to himself as that, but he would always say Kurt Manwaring address. I forget his name, but he used to type in all capital letters, and he was really, really into that joke. Big time. Next pack up, Wade Boggs starts it off. Eric Hansen, Steve Carter, there's Otis Nixon, Tom Glavine, Mike Stanley, and that creepy side-eye. Incaviglia, the Propaganda Piece. Rance Mullenix, the Baby Bird. Yvonne Calderon, and Terry Poole is going to end that pack. And we are getting down to the nitty-gritty with no sign of Griffey or Larry Walker or Frank Thomas. Is he going to be in here? I will throw a freaking temper tantrum. Ripken Record Breaker. Boggs, Jerome Walton Gold Cup. Todd Froworth, McClendon. There's Younce, Scraggly Mullet, Ernest Riles, Schmidt, Tracy Jones, and Larry Sheets. No sign of Jeff McKnight yet. I hope he's in here. I hope we see him as well. Got a giant stack of pack wrappers left over from the other night next to me that's about to tip over. Jim Clancy looking extra sassy, with his hand on his hip. And seeing a little bit of different collation now. There's that very feminine and sissy throw from Doyle Alexander. Surhoff, Jacoby, there is the crime dog, as Corey insists on calling him. Steve Finley, second year, Cal Ripken, and Whitey Herzog ends that pack. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 packs remain. I still have one box of cello left to be ripped on December 1st. We need a Christmas miracle to find this Frank Thomas. Giraffe Neck, Dave West starts thing off. Jeff Parrott's Candelaria, there's Donnie Baseball shows up finally. And Tony Gwynn, good pack so far. And Eric King just kind of killed the vibe on that one. Bigson says, I feel we were deprived of a Frank last month. I don't think I pulled a Frank Thomas last month. Of course, said that he likes clamshell cases. That is true. I did sell him all my clamshell cases in like a big freaking box. Nolan Ryan, 5,000 Ks. There's Kent Home Run Back, as my brother called him. I guess I probably did too, because he did. McGaffigan with a strange alien-like blemish. Mark Knudsen giving Doyle Alexander a run for his money with that sissy throw. Wallach and Bill Schroeder ends that pack. And then there were 8. 2 Sosas, 2 Gonzalez lead me to a Frank Thomas. I will pout the rest of the night. Tony Gwynn, Ken Griffey Sr. Now we're almost up to $500 in flea market money from this box. Fisk All-Star card. Rest in peace, Rex Hudler. Ricky Jordan, Bud Black, Dan Pasqua, Greg Briley, and Joe Price is going to end that pack. So I think I said this before, but I was talking to somebody at a card shop, Kell Sports Cards in Pittsburgh. Real awesome shop. I don't go there all that often because he's not open on Sundays. But I was talking to him about boxes and stuff like that recently, and he was telling me that number-wise for like junk wax boxes, he said he's pretty sure, maybe he's heard from someone in the industry, that there are like 18 to 19 million boxes of like, say, 87 tops out there. 18 to 19 million. And I never thought the number was that high, but like when you think about it, you could still buy 87 tops boxes for like $30, $35, and there's still a crap load of them out there. Henderson Record Breaker, absolutely nuts. So it makes you wonder, someday will it all dry up? I don't know. I don't know. You go on eBay and look at 90 tops right now, how many listings will you find? An awful lot. And how many cases and boxes are still sitting in people's basements and attics? Probably an insane amounts. Don Robinson, I'm calling Mandela effect on that card. I've never seen that card in my life. It definitely did not exist back in 1990. Kenny Rogers, I'm getting the same vibe from that too. Very strange pack happening before my eyes. Brian Dubois. Mosby. Coleman, Devon White, and Brian Downing. And there's a box I have not opened before on this channel, and it's 90 tops traded. Does anyone want to see that open? I know it's like not a very good set by any means, but back in 1990, that was like, those were the packs to buy. There were so many good rookies in there. By today's standards, you have like Dave Justice and John Olerud, and that's like the extent of it. But man, were those packs sick back then. There were far less cards in there too, but I'm like, I've never opened a box of those. Should I open them one day? I feel like I need to. Nolan Ryan, 5,000 Ks. Larry Walker, rookie, finally shows up. He's earned a place in the rookie pile. Winfield, Eric Plunk, of course, is going to show up to ruin the pack. Ron Darling, some sort of strange printing blemish on here that I'm obsessed with, so that's going to go off to the side. Cecil Espy, there's Mark Grace. And Darryl Strawberry ends that pack. Kevin Moss was huge in 1990. Yeah, Todd Hundley was huge. Travis Fryman. So many big names in 90 tops traded. Also, I still like remember like how anxious I was to buy those packs because of all the freaking sweet rookies that were in there. Which makes me want to open it, but I don't know if it'd have the same effect all these years later, or if it'd be like, oh, these are these are kind of lame. There's nothing in here. But I think that the memories alone, there's that weird Don Robinson back-to-back. It's 2 cards I've never seen in my life. Same collation. Dave LaPointe, Charlie Huff, and Alfredo Griffin. Ending that pack. Do I collect miscut cards? I really don't. I've had people send me a lot of miscut cards over the years, so I just like kind of started putting them in a stack. Maybe like freakishly miscut. Like, I've opened at least one box of 90 Tops where the cards were like horribly cut, and that's not something you see very often. So I wouldn't say like I'll go out of my way to collect them, but if I find them, I'll put them aside, basically. Mark Lemke just got done having a good cry on that card. Pascal Perez, Bob Ojeda, John Wathen, Jose Lean, my personal favorite during this time period. There's Rock Reigns and Jeff Reed ends that pack. Paul Ellis, there's 2 boxes. Yeah, it was like not that long ago either, I want to say. I opened another box and it was the same thing. 2 packs left, no Frank Thomas. And the trifecta is left open-ended, unfortunately. Krusty says, pulled a Jordan out of a 90 Fleer rack pack today. That's pretty sick. There's that Drew Hall again, or as Corey says, Drew Hill. Dave Winfielders at Dorky Paul Gibson. Still no Civil War. Oh, that is crazy. I summoned it. I literally spoke it into freaking existence. The Civil War era Mitch Williams. I'm more excited to pull that than the name on front. Don't see that card very often. Obsessed with it. Rich Yet ends that pack. Struck gold. Civil War era Mitch freaking Williams right there. Love it. I'm pretty sure it's like the exact same photo as his 89 Tops. It's pretty close. Last pack magic. Can we find a Thomas in here? Is there going to be a Kurt Schilling? Am I going to throw a temper tantrum? Jack Morris, Dante Bichette, second year. Mitch Williams bringing some luck here. Kevin Seitzer, Omar Vizquel, second year. Eddie Murray, or as some people might call him, Eddie Murphy. It looks like we are going to come up short, and there's going to be a bad temper tantrum in Walmart parking lot tonight. So I walked away with 2 Juan Gonzalez rookies, 2 Sosas, 1 Larry Walker, Civil War era Mitch Williams, and 1/3 of the trifecta, which is not good enough to summon the 3-headed Mickey Weston. So no Frank Thomas, no Bernie Williams, which is really strange, but that is the way the cookie crumbles, or the junk wax dust settles sometimes. But I'm not going to give up yet. I still have a cello box left to open on the 1st of next month, and like I said, I will continue ripping these occasionally. I don't know if it's going to be monthly, but we'll see how that goes. I'll never, ever stop searching for this elusive card. So thank you all for joining me in this desperate quest to find this error card. But we have struck out yet again tonight. But hopefully I'll see you guys back maybe tomorrow night for a new video. I'm going to try to make some different kinds of videos here coming up soon. So keep an eye out for those. And that's it. Thank you guys all for being here. Have a great rest of your night, and hopefully I'll see you all back tomorrow.